everybody has in their packet those two things that are on the podium. The Juice Plus that's on the podium too. Got them, okay.
Yep, yep. Hello, everyone.
Wow!
Oh, Cindy, thank you so much for having me here. And guys, I'm a little nervous, so I'm going to teach you a really cool trick for when you're nervous. So if you just bear with me just a moment. Close your eyes. Sit up straight with your feet flat on the floor. Just go ahead and take a couple deep breaths and then breathe normally. Now I want you to rub two fingers together with such a tension that you can actually feel the ridges on your fingertips. Just notice what those fingertip ridges feel like. And now I want you to listen to the sounds in the room. What is the closest sound you can hear?
Well, thank you.
That was perfect. Okay.
We got the concept.
Yeah, you got the concept. So, what we're doing, I actually just taught you a really quick way to switch off your body's stress response. I taught you how to engage a different part of your brain, a part of your brain that cannot feel stress. When you are in those emotions, when you're in those
You got this.
When you're in those sensory mindful moments, you're actually engaging a different part of your brain than where your stress response lives. And that's what we're going to talk about today, is how to stress less and thrive more so we can all be healthier. Next slide, please. This is all about me. It looks really impressive on paper, like living this life, maybe not so much. But I've done a lot, and I've experienced tremendous amounts of stress in my life, and I've actually figured out how to overcome it, which is like the most incredible thing in the world. And this is what I do with my clients. I help my clients learn how to overcome stress. Let's go on to the next slide, please. So, I'm a functional diagnostic nutrition practitioner and a health and mental mastery coach. That's a really fancy way of saying I'm like a bridge between a health coach and a doctor. I help my clients identify where their stressors are, whether they are physical stressors, mental stressors, emotional stressors, chemical stressors. There are so many different types of stress that we can have, and we're going to talk about that. But first, let's talk about good stress. There's a type of stress called eustress. This is the good stress. This is a butterfly breaking out of a cocoon. This is you going to the gym and pumping iron. This is the stress that motivates you to get out of bed in the morning. This is good stress. Next slide. And then there's the other kind of stress called distress. And we all know what distress is. It's when you're bothered, you're upset, you're not happy, right? You're distressed. Well, that happens inside of our bodies too. You eat tomato sauce and you get heartburn. That's a stressor on your body. So most of us are like, well, I love tomato sauce, I'm going to eat it anyway. But what you don't realize is you could be causing further damage down the road. So next slide.
Oh, sorry. I tried to help you.
So
with that.
stress saves lives. Our stress response is there so that if a bear is chasing us through the woods, we can use our arms and our legs and run as fast as we can. We don't need to digest food. We don't need to be thinking about what we're doing 2 weeks from now. All we need to do is survive. Our stress response is a really, really important function. Next slide. I'm going to go through this really quick because I want you guys to realize, if you feel my urgency and you start feeling my urgency, rub your fingers together and see how quickly you calm down. Okay. So when we are stressed, our body goes through the stress response. First, we're going to have the cortisol. We're going to have signal that's going from our brain, going from our hypothalamus to our pituitary gland, to our adrenal glands, to our thyroid. Okay, so it's going from there. The very first thing that happens when you're stressed is you have a pump in your body. And every cell of your body has pumps that are pumping sodium and potassium in and out of your body. Sodium and potassium are batteries. They are the spark plugs of life. When we are stressed out, the very first thing that happens is our adrenals take the sodium out of our cells, and our thyroid takes the potassium out of our cells. So we're immediately going to start having minerals that become imbalanced. We are going to have increased blood sugar, increased heart rate. There's going to be all these different responses that happen in our bodies. This is good. It's going to help us run away from the bear. Next slide. But when we are running away from a bear every single day of our lives, our bodies are not designed to do that. So the landlord that we owe rent to is a bear. Your child screaming in the morning because they're hungry is a bear. Your boss with the deadline is a bear. The expectations that we put on ourselves, those are bears. And those tomatoes that are causing that gurgling in your stomach, that's a bear. Those are constantly keeping us in our stress response. And when we are in our stress response, that hypothalamus to pituitary to adrenal, the thyroid gets all kinds of screwed up because we don't know if it's your thyroid that's going to mess up first or your adrenals. Next slide. All we know is that it's going to cascade, it's going to cascade, it's going to get worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. And if we want to get healthy, chronic stressors must be identified and removed from our lives in order for us to get healthy. Next slide. So here's my tips for stress management. Now, by the way, everybody has in their packets, there's 2 pieces of paper folded together. One of them is tips for stress management. Don't necessarily match these. You don't have to read them right now, but it's something you could take home. The other one is a diet journal with some instructions on how to use it, and there's also a QR code so you could download some more pages. I want you to know about those. There's also some Juice Plus packets in here. We're going to talk about diet very, very briefly in a little bit, but I'm going to refer back to these. But I want you guys to know that those are in your packet, so we could go through this really quick, and you don't have to remember all of this. Next slide, please. So first, de-stress at home. When you get home from work, be done with work. Put on your relaxing clothes, take your relaxing posture, do all the things that are going to make you feel good. I can't even read my slide, it's so light.
I'm sorry.
But that's okay. If it's doing yoga, if it's taking a hot bath, the things that you want to do to calm down, calm down. Spend some time outside. The bottom thing that you can't see so well, spend 5 minutes outside at 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. It's going to do wonders for your hormones, wonders for your health. Next slide, please. Next is listen to your body. Listen to the clues. If something hurts, notice it. If your body is telling you that you need to move, move. If your body is telling you that you need to relax, relax. Our bodies tell us all the time what they need, but we stopped listening to them when our parents yelled at us for listening to them when we were 2 years old. So it's just the way that it is. So learn to listen to your body. Next slide, please. Get help. Find a coach, find a psychologist, find an acupuncturist, a chiropractor. Find somebody who's going to help you address whatever it is that your stressor is. If it's physical, if it's mental, if it's emotional, if it's your diet, if it's your relationship, there is somebody out there who can help you. Next slide. Have a bedtime routine. Go to bed around 10 p.m. if you can. Wake up around 6 p.m. if you can. Sleeping in the dark is best. It's what our bodies are designed to do. Create a routine to help you fall asleep. Next slide. Eat whole foods and eat it slow. The more ingredients in your foods, the more things that you have to react to, the harder it is to listen to your body. And eat slow. When you are chewing your food and really paying attention to it, not only are you digesting better and helping your stomach less stressed, you are also activating that region of your brain that cannot be stressed. By the way, if you have a food sensitivity and you eat those tomatoes, the more you do that thing, that trick with your brain, the less those tomatoes are going to affect you. Next slide. Detox your home. Chemicals, cleaners, all this stuff. Buy some house plants. Do some Google. Find the better pots and pans that are less toxic. Keep your windows open as often as you can. But everything in our home has chemicals that come off of it. Just try to avoid it the best we can. Next slide. Relax into it. This is important because I'm like, I've got all these tips for you, right? It's overwhelming. Relax. One step at a time. Baby steps. Small hinges swing big doors. Janice knows this. A little step makes a huge difference. Next slide. That's all I've got. This is how to get a hold of me. I'm on Facebook. I'm on LinkedIn. I've got a website, I've got my email address. There are also cards
In your bag?
with with the instructions in your bag. There's a QR code that goes to download the diet sheet again. There's also another thing I'm offering everybody, a hidden stressor assessment for free. So there's a QR code where you can scan it and directly book a session with me. If you have any questions for me later, I'll be around. Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Listen, she said, learn to listen to your body and to get help. It's okay to ask for help and to detox your home. That's great, because for my cleaning business, I was introduced to these, Young Living. I use Young Living cleaning products, which are chemical-free cleaning products. All right, now let's introduce our next speaker. Okay, Tracy is a domestic violence survivor, victim, and has over 5 years of domestic violence training. Tracy decided to start a nonprofit organization after her sister died from a violent boyfriend. My condolences. Then husband relationship. Tracy is certified as a nurse assistant, spending 23 years caring for others in the community. Tracy is the CEO and founder of HOT, Here Are Tears, a 501c3 since 2012. Tracy is a community activist and organizes many events for HOT, Here Are Tears, in the South Bend area. Tracy achieved the Women's Entrepreneur Excellence Certification in 2020. Please welcome Ms. Tracy Winston.
Thank you so much. HOT Here Our Tears is my baby. That's the nonprofit organization. So as she said, my sister was murdered by her husband, and it lit something in my life that we needed to be talking about what is domestic violence in our community. So then there's Unique Boutique International, and that's Make a Purchase Against Violence. So we help people in the community if they need to be placed in a hotel, if they need a ticket to get out of town, if they just need someone to talk to. That's what we do. So I thought about, what if we did, usually I'm in this chair, we're taking the layers off, because we've had those layers put on in so many different forms. As a kid, we could say things. As adults, to each other, we could say things. So taking those layers off. Then I thought about it. As women entrepreneurs, what have you been told? What has been said to you? So I need help. I need some help. So someone has to put those layers on me because something's been said to you. So can you help me? Sure.
I can.
Cindy? Come on. So I know you investigated in our community of why these numbers were so low and what was said to you about women as entrepreneurs. So you put them on me. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
Okay. Because I was told you can't. You can't. You know. Okay.
Are you doing it?
You'll never amount to anything in life. You're stupid. You need to just stop that. You're just a low-life nobody. Why are you even here anyway? You're so beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
You're smart and intelligent.
Yes.
You are a business owner.
You are a successful business owner.
Uh-huh.
How is it that you can help me get to where I need to be?
Yes. Yes.
Thank you.
That wasn't trained, you guys.
I pick people on purpose in the audience to help to get the message through. So with God, the head of my life, it's just amazing how even doing that without the words, and sometimes it's the silence of pulling those layers off. But even with the words, sometimes we can just say things and not even think how it affects people, because words do have power.
Yes, they do.
So remember that, and gestures and just being nice to people is just amazing. Even though we're having bad days, I have 2 kids that's been in the hospital in the last 24 hours, but I had to show up and give this message. So domestic violence awareness is so important. So don't let anybody tell you you can't do what God put in your mind and in your path to do, because you do have purpose. Thank you.